Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. How is it going? This week's been a bit of a madness, hasn't it? Like, obviously, there's the conclusion of the Euros coming up onto us. You've got United acting like a proper club, just getting deals dealt with. I'm almost don't recognise my club. Nuts. Anyway, how's it going? How's your mum and them? So we got a couple of players to talk about. I just finished recording a transfer review, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that. We've got a couple of players to talk about here. A few windows ago, someone decided to track every single player that United were linked to, and I'm sure it was 211, or it might have been 216 or 211 players that United were linked to in one window. 90 days, 216 or 211, whichever it was. Fucking 200 anyway, innit? Let's just call it 200, right? 200 players United linked with. Do you know how many we've been linked with this window? What, 5, 6? And some of those are clearly on like a little bit of a short list. Don't know if I like this professionalism. When will Zirkzee be unveiled? Who cares? Soon, probably. He's going to go on holiday, innit? Like, so don't worry about it. Connor says, if we do sign Yoro and De Ligt, it means there's a possibility of changing it up when needed and playing 5 at the back on occasion with Yoro, De Ligt and Martinez. It does, yeah. I think you could see a blending of formations. You're starting to see a lot of teams now, and we saw this with Ten Hag at Ajax, actually. He loved a 3-1-6 sort of shape. Now, that's not a formation, it's a shape. Off the ball, teams will go into 4-5-1, 4-4-2, something along those lines off the ball. In possession, you're often seeing a 2-3-5, a 3-1-6, a 3-2-5, a 3-2-1-4. You're seeing a lot of shapes from people. 3-2-3-2, 3-3-1-3. You're seeing a lot of shapes in possession from different teams as they try and occupy different spaces. I'm reading a bit of an essay on Arteta at the moment, where Arteta has 4 lines of possession, so he's looking to try and occupy certain things. He goes 3-2-3-2, no 2-3-2-3. Sorry, not 3-2-3-2. Yeah, 2-3-2-3. That's what he's looking to do. That's how he looks to try and occupy certain areas of space, try and get the right sort of numbers in. And actually, if I may go off topic for just a minute, I'm trying to look at where do I think possible. I mean, and you guys let me know. Do you think this is a video in it or not? Or is it like, have I gone far too deep into the nerdy rainforest to ever potentially look at coming back? Because I feel like I might have done. No, what I'm looking at the moment, I'm seeing, in the 90s, what you had was a very rigid British way of playing, the Brexit 4-4-2. Sorry, I just got a question here from Howson. Do I think the love for Paddock will ever take away the love for United? No. Paddock is a project. Manchester United is my love. It's not going to change. Like, that's it. Paddock is what I'm doing because I want to better and learn and put things to the test. Now, going on from the Arteta essay that I've been reading at the moment, looking at what they did last year, and looking at how they're occupying certain different spaces, mostly in possession. It's not really covered too much of what they're doing out of possession just yet. But I'm thinking, what's the next innovation going to be? When I look back at the 90s football, even Manchester United played a 4-4-2, rigid 4-4-2. People talk about United playing 4-4-2 in 99. They didn't really, because Dwight York basically occupied the number 10 spot, and it was very much a 4-2-3-1 that you sort of see now, although lopsided because Giggs was high and wide and Beckham was sort of tucked in off the right-hand side. But there was tactical innovations happening, and there was a real big tactical shift that happens with the advent of the Premier League. Now, not a lot realistically changed between the old Division 1 and the Premier League, but there were things that changed. And the TV money was a big one. And as that TV money came in, you had the likes of Erik Cantona. I know he played in the Football League, but the likes of, not specifically Erik Cantona. The likes of Erik Cantona, given the freedom to occupy that number 10 role at Manchester United. You saw the likes of Juninho come in playing for Middlesbrough, the likes of Zola. What a footballer. What a complete set of footballers all of those guys were. You're a real magician, very Italian-style number 10s that just weren't prevalent in the English game. You had the likes of Hoddle that were trying to do it in the 80s, but it was a freak and an anomaly in many ways. because that wasn't the norm. So you occasionally was get tactical innovations, and they come on slowly, and then everybody takes care of them, and then someone has to innovate and do something else. You went from 4-4-2 into this 4-4-2-1, someone trying to occupy half space and the hole in between the defence and midfield. You had the pass back rules started a big innovation in terms of playing out from the back. It was a shit show in the first Premier League season as people were trying to get to grips with that, by the way. Or was it the season before the first Premier League season? Either way, it was around about that sort of time anyway. And when you look at some of the other stuff that was going on at the time, there was all of these big tactical shifts. And I want to know where the next tactical shifts are, because we saw that the 4-4-2 became a 4-2-3-1. Then you saw it evolve into a 4-3-3, and the entire world started playing 4-3-3, and that gave you an extra man in midfield, and you was less reliant on having two players up front. That started to allow teams to overload midfield. That came at a time when Spain was just really getting to grips with having this brilliant possession-based midfield-focused midfield. And then I think when you started to see teams dominate possession, the innovation then... So you started to see people put three into midfield to deal with the number 10 coming in. People started to put three in midfield to put number 6 in to be able to occupy that and still have two combative midfielders ahead of them. That was an innovation. Then people started to hold possession in the midfield more rather than dealing with it going wide and direct with wingers. And then the innovation for that was like the counter press, and it was pioneered in Germany. People are going to hold possession. We're going to try and fucking win the possession back real quick. And then there's been shape changes in recent years. Bielsa's been fucking about with all sorts of stuff at Leeds and Bilbao and wherever he's been. And Guardiola's had a bit of a hand in this as well. And at the moment, you're starting to see people just trying to really overload and keep hold of like mad amounts of possession. And the number of passes being played in top flight football at the moment is fascinating to watch. And I loved what Bielsa said the other week. In terms of like, we're taking out a little bit of that love and joy of football. And it made me start thinking, where's the next innovation in football? Are we going to see a flick back to fucking brilliant dribblers like a Zola, like a Janino, that are going to want to take and Ronaldinho and take and break this pass sort of monotony and overload it in that sort of sense? So I was having a think, and I've written down some notes, and you guys let me know if this is a video or not. I think there's going to be data-driven tactical adjustments, because at the moment I think there's inconsistent tactical flexibility. I think you're seeing a lot of teams that sort of struggle to adapt dynamically during games. And I think that means that you have a lot of players that have got suboptimal sort of positioning, and that positioning often relies on, they know that this is I'm a centre half and this is where a centre half stands, or I'm a fullback and this is where a fullback stands. And I don't think that they're getting into the optimal positions to occupy the correct space for where opposition teams are trying to overload or potentially exploit over or underloads. So I think there's going to be some innovation, potentially real-time analytics that feed into decision-making. I think you're going to see AI, real-time data analytics. I think you're going to see a new position created on the bench of someone that's tracking with an iPad of where positions are. And I think someone's going to feed out some information within that iPad readout where you're going to be able to say, oh, they're consistently getting 2v1 in this zone, and this zone, and here's what AI thinks we should maybe flip to. I think you might also see wearables, like obviously I have a Whoop. There's more advanced versions of Whoops. Like, you've seen people who are diabetic have this thing that they sort of stick onto the skin, and it has a couple of prongs that go into like their belly or on the back of their arm or something. I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing footballers wearing those things. I think they're quite popular in like Tour de France and stuff. I think you're going to see wearables that are actually taking like glucose readings and heart rate readings and blood sugar readings and blood oxygen readings to actually really give us insight into like player fatigue. On top of like your positioning and opponent weaknesses. And I think you're then going to start to see 5, 6, 7 different strategic adjustments of formation within the game to deal with those sort of real-time analytics and decision makings. And I think you're going to see a lot of, I think people will come up with like data-led algorithms to determine the optimal positioning based on what the flow of the game is, so you can help exploit spaces and stuff. So I think there's a new position going to be created on the bench, and then players are going to be fed into that sort of stuff. I think you're going to see. Look, there's at the moment you're getting a lot of standardized training programs, and I see it myself. Like, I can't work with individual players. I have to work with the team. My job is, can I get the team to play cohesively? So you end up seeing a lot of one size fits all approaches, and it lacks that personalization to improve certain aspects of people. I also think that people don't identify the correct talents, and I think there's such a like a meat grinder of, let's just shove enough seemingly talented kids into the meat grinder, the ones that don't make it, whatever, and we'll just keep going. Whereas I look at what Bilbao and that are doing, and I go, why are they way more successful with a way smaller pool? Is there patience required more in certain areas? So I think there's innovation there. I think you're going to see more machine learning and AI brought in to give individual training programs that cater to specific player strengths and needs and weaknesses, and what a manager or a team or a system requires for them to adjust. And I think those things will be way more dynamic than they have been. And I think there's going to be data coming into grassroots to help identify sort of promising talents early. And whether that's from a physical point of view, from a mental, from a cognitive point of view, from a tactical understanding point of view, or a technical point of view, I just think you're going to get more of that. I think there needs to be better mental health support within the game. There's so much burnout, which I think is more of a mental thing than a physical thing. I think there's people struggle to deal with the expectation placed on them, and I think there's got to be better learning in how to cope with that. Injury management is reactive rather than preventative. I think we often try and deal with how to fix injuries rather than to prevent them in the first place. So I can see a lot more therapy and mental health support happening within clubs. I can see a lot more of a comprehensive approach to physical and mental well-being for players, and people looking into that sort of stuff, and maybe leveraging dopamine unlocking and hacking systems. And I wonder where you can bring technology in to sort of look for injury prevention, leverage data, leverage some of the scanning technology that's available to decrease injury risk. Like, if you spend £100 million on a footballer, you want to be able to protect him and use him. You know, and a proactive approach, right? Looking at historical deficiencies in what the player's skeletal system says and what his ligaments are saying, and try and be proactive and modify training loads, or figure out where this person's not quite as flexible in their left ankle as their right. Can we strengthen it? Because then we can get a more efficient runner out of them. And basically, I've probably talked a lot about it, but this is what I'm looking into and thinking about all the time. And let me know if you think that's a video you would like to see. Anyway, because I think there's all sorts of innovations. I've not even touched on formational stuff yet. I think formations will change. I think formations will change. Like, I think, yes, you're looking at players that can be adaptive and play in multiple roles within the same team. But I think you'll see totally different formations coming up. And where people start when they receive the ball will be different to where they're looking to end up and how they operate. And you'll see rotations becoming an increase. Anyway. I'll get on with the reason that you're all here. But let me know if you would be interested in that kind of thing as a topic, because it is the thing that's occupying my fucking reptile brain at the moment. Anyway, Yoro. So, according to Sky Sports, United are not ready to give up on Yoro despite his preference seemingly being a move to Real Madrid. Lille would prefer Yoro to move to Old Trafford, and we have met their asking price, whereas Real are not. And they're going in less than half of what we are, or hoping to get him on a free. Now, I tried to have a bit of a look online last night at what was being said, and there was some talk that Real Madrid were readying a plan B, but I don't know the reliability of the places I was, because I'm just finding it on Twitter, so I don't know. It's Spanish sources that I am not familiar with, so I couldn't tell you how reliable those were. But even though supposedly his preference is Real Madrid, United have not closed the door on the transfer yet. Romano said over the last week, contact took place between Madrid and Leny Yoro, and Madrid confirmed once again that he is a top target for them and part of their plans. Madrid also know that United are waiting for his decision. So I think there is something that's going to go on with that. And it's not been a no just yet, so we shall see, won't we? Glenn says, floating goalkeeper who runs out to defence. Well, we kind of have that already, don't we? Killian says, are there any innovative formations and shapes that you could see becoming more widely used? Alonso's, maybe. Well, Alonso's? It's 3-2-5. The thing that people have been a bit shook at with Alonso's is the usage of Frimpong. That's it, really. Casper says, I missed the diamond midfield that AC Milan played in the 2000s. John Carberry says, Arnie voice, do it now. Farid says, the last time United were first movers in the summers when they say Nanny and Anderson quietly went about business and got it done with minimal fuss. Jordan says, 100% make a video. My high school got the Huddle camera and it will track and record matches. Give me player stats. There's so much cool tech. It has $3,000 a year to use it. Yeah, we have a similar thing with our Veo, and it's got AI data on it now. I can't imagine what people... I mean, that costs us 75 quid a month, I think, something like that. It's fucking nothing in the grand scheme of things. I can't imagine what the likes of Prozone and Opta are able to offer to clubs at the moment, and I would absolutely fucking nerd my bollocks off if I got the opportunity to go and ask somewhere. David says, when you get paid hundreds of thousands a week, you need to man up and get on with it. If you can't handle it, step back to a lower league on less money. I don't know what that's in reference to, but okay. Brian says, isn't it mad we could have all had our business done before the season even starts? What the fuck is going on? CTB says, subbing a goalkeeper on for an outfield player in the final 5 minutes of chasing a game. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know if you actually need a nominated goalkeeper in the rules. I've never looked into that. I don't know what the rule is on that. Does one of the people on the pitch of the team have to be a nominated goalkeeper? Don't know. Toasted said, Steve, would I ever consider doing a series explaining different formations and tactical setups? Oh my God. I don't think that was in focus. I'm sorry. So we basically wrote out what we're planning on doing when there is 1 game a week and 2 games a week. I will give you the... So there's a new show that we're going to do next season called Wibble Watch. So if someone's been chatting a load of shit, I want tagging in it, and I will fucking put them straight. I'm going to do a player ratings video at the end of games as well, where because I'm conscious that when we do 5 things, quite often we'll miss a player. So I'm going to do a player ratings video separate to 5 things and the immediate sort of emotional, just fucking is what I feel reaction that I do after a game. I'll do a player ratings on where I try and go through the data for each player. So that's a new show for next season, or this season, I guess. It seems like it starts as of fucking Monday. And then we was thinking of one just called the Tactico Show, which is where, well, we fucking talk about tactics. It might be, it's stuff that, you know, people, it might be sucking eggs to some people, but it might also be stuff people go, oh, I didn't know what that was. So it might be like, people go, yeah, I've heard everyone talk about a false nine. I don't know what it is. What is an inverted fullback? What is the half space? So it was just something like that, where we thought we could probably do that, use a bit of graphics and stuff, and see if there's anything in there, and explain how this Alonso's formation explained, something like that. So if that's of insight to people or interest to people, let me know in the chats. So that's the only really new show we've been thinking of, really. Because we've been doing this a while now, we kind of know where we're at with everything, but that's what we're thinking of, yeah. Did I get to meet Hugh and Ryan? Sort of, yeah, but I didn't speak to them. IR says, is Wibble Watch a rebranded Howson versus? Love that. No, Wibble Watch is going to be more. I'm basically going to be sitting here like this, and I'll play the video and then talk over it. So it's going to be like that. Desert Storm says, Leny Yoro looks like your 13-year-old cousin tried to grow his first mustache. He did. Christian Shea says, any update when the paddock kits will ship? I'm not sure if this one's winding me up or not. as of the conversation that we had yesterday, they will ship at the end of the month. They were a pre-order, as it says on the thing. Now, we have currently got a pre-order going for the away kit right now, but you need to get into the Telegram group to get it. I will send it out to all members on email very soon, but if you would like to get on the away kit, should I give you a sneak peek? I might just give you a sneak peek, because it's pretty good. Do you want a sneak peek? Let me know. Give me a yes if you want a sneak peek. I want it absolutely spammed. If you want to see it, though. Let me just... I need studio mode. Where is it? Where is it? I can't find studio mode on this thing. Right, I'm just going to have to throw it on the screen. Who wants to see the away kit? Yes. Bosh. What do you think of that? We did green and gold again. We did green and gold again. So, if you want to order one of these, y'all need to be a member. You'll see that it's got the map of Stretford all over the shirt, which looks fucking good, doesn't it? We've done green and gold again. Don't she look pretty? So if you want one of these, and you want to get on the pre-order for this, the pre-order is, I'm going to open it up for another 24 hours from today. And you've got 24 hours for it. Joe, last time we did a pre-order and we sold like nearly 1,000 of them. If you want one, then fucking get one. If you want one and they sold out, well, unfucking look it. You should have got one when they were available. Now, we will order a handful of stock, maybe 100 or so, but they will fucking fly out. So if you want one, you all need to become a member with a quickness. And I will be posting a link out to members today, or join the Telegram group if you're already a member. Go and find the link to it on previous emails and you will get your shirt. She's a beauty. Looks fucking dope, doesn't it? So if you're interested, you want one of those, become a member. Otherwise, you're going to fucking cry. All right? Oh shit, done it again. How do I get rid of that? Right, I'll just have to move it like that. I don't know how to get rid of it now. Right, it's gone. Right, I carry on talking about what we're here for. Can non-members buy, says Robbie Kingston? Yeah, you can, but I'll be honest with you, you won't get one because they'll sell out. That's why we're doing a pre-order. So we're doing a pre-order, so most people who want one, the loyal fans of the club, can get one. And then when as a club, we have to gamble on thousands of pounds worth of stock. And we can't afford to do it as a football club. We end up with overage sometimes, even though we probably won't on that, but we have to pay for them in advance. So we can't do that. That's why we do a pre-order, so we can actually get people who want one to fucking have one. Now, if you want one, become a member and fucking get one. Otherwise, when they go on general sale to the public, I guarantee you they'll be gone in an hour or two. And if you don't get one then, well, we're probably not ordering them again. So it's one of those. Do I reckon Ten Hag and Van Nistelrooy will get on? I think they've got the potential to not get on. I like that. Thriller says, "Is that the third kit?" No, that is the away kit. Wait till I drop the third kit on you. You're not going to see the third kit for another 4 or 5 weeks, but you will like it when it comes. And Elle says that's proper shirt porn right there. IR says, what was the second most voted for? I think I said it was fairly close. It was fairly close. It was the navy and gold one, which was very close. Way closer than I expected it to be honest. I don't know if a lot of people just voted thinking that was going to win, so I voted for something else. A full name Huggy says, very nice, should be proud of that. Will Charter says, why do I think United are held to such a higher moral standard than other clubs? RE Greenwood situation. Don't know, but I'd rather have it that way, to be honest with you. And Elle says, sell them at the games only. That'll bang the numbers up. Thunder says, I've watched for years. Love to show your opinion. Spot on. Keep doing what you're doing. Oh, thank you, our kid. John says, imagine this. Radcliffe gets full ownership of United, and just for the first season, the United kit is green and gold. They should absolutely bring that back if he gets... Do you know how fast they will sell out? Goober says, Yoro has bad signing written all over him. The chakras do not align. Please elaborate. I want to know why you feel that way, because I don't feel that way. I think it'd be a good one. Notch says all the options to vote for were lit. I'll be honest with you, I'd sent lots of designs back because I wasn't fully happy with them, in all honesty. But yeah, people did seem to like them. Do I reckon we do some loan moves? I think we're going to have to do some loan moves. Yeah, I think so. SI Clay says, not sure about Yoro. He seems reluctant to join United and still waiting for Madrid. And I don't want anyone who won't give 100% for the badge. I think he probably will give 100% for the badge. I just think if Real Madrid's an option, oh man, you'd be fucking dumb not to want to go to Madrid, wouldn't you? Jed says, Yoro is going to Madrid. United know, but they're using their bid to try and get Everton to lower the Branthwaite price. I'm not sure. I still think that we're trying to sign him for the reason that we want to sign him. Edu says, I don't know about me, Steve, but I'm looking forward to next season more than ever. I think the squad's still not good enough to compete, but I'm hoping to get completely surprised. Dean says, need to get Cantona in that away kit. Oh, can you imagine? Ash says, given the success of the Enzo move and the Alan Varela move to Porto, do I think we should look at Christian Mendina from Boca? He seems to be the next midfielder to get his move. I'm not familiar with his game. I would have to go and have a look and get familiar with his game to give a proper opinion on you. But you know what? We do like watching Boca, so we will. Where does Mount fit into the system? I don't know. Stephen Harris says, be a squad player at Madrid or a god at United. Zirkzee, Florian Plettenberg says he's already on site and undergoing his medical with Manchester United. If everything goes well, expected to sign his contracts until 2029 plus one, and the deal will be announced. Understand the 23-year-old is very proud to join Manchester United, and he's hoping to get the number 9 shirt. There you go, for those who were asking. Shirt freaks. Mike V says Ugarte would be such an important pickup. Yeah, I tend to agree, actually, with that. I tend to agree. Dugout says, I think United will try and sign De Jong next summer because he's best friends with De Ligt and his contract closer to the end. If he gets his money out of Barca, can you imagine? Could you imagine? But yeah. Sancho. Maybe we've got some news here because it's been a bit quiet, hasn't it? But Sancho could be a loan option for Juventus with a salary cut, or he could enter into a new exchange with Federico Chiesa, who has been proposed to United. Ten Hag has time to think about the player. I used to really like Chiesa. Admittedly, I didn't see a lot of him last year, so I don't know what sort of stage he's at. I did used to like him, and I liked his dad, but I don't know where he's at the moment. So I tell you what, over the next week or so, we'll get some tape watched and we'll probably do a scout report if that looks like it's a deal that could be likely on. Now, I've got some Mainu news. Not surprising. Graham Bailey is saying Dan Ashworth has made a new contract for Mainu a priority for United and he's hoping to accelerate talks over Mainu's extension once the player returns from the Euros. Can I just say, what a fucking nightmare that's going to be at the moment. Can you imagine? What the fuck? The way Mainu's season's gone, the way his last 7 months have gone, trying to sit down with him and being like, right then, so we think whatever you're worth is worth more. Whatever you're putting on the table, you're mugging the kid. And he probably knows. It's going to be an absolutely fucked negotiation. IR says, are we building a what if Ajax kept their best players squad? Shit, maybe. Steven says, have I seen the preview of the new paddock flag on Telegram? Yep, I love the culture and especially love it the way the fans have taken everything. Yep, the one global fan base flag I have seen, yep, and I fucking absolutely love it. Rico Thomas says 500k, here you go, Kobe. Richard Porter says get him signed on a 15-year contract. Have you seen Seedorf's actually been talking about him? Rio sent me a video of, I think it's a 99 2000 flavour Seedorf. I'd forgotten about that flavour of Seedorf. And he is spookily close to what Kobe looks like. It just looks like a long-haired Kobe. He's got that little Iniesta touch, the little, when you knock it from one foot to the other and send it round someone, loads of nutmegs, and there's a flair to him that you go, oh yeah, because I remember more of the older Seedorf and he'd just become a bit hard. Nuts, man. You Got Rose says, nervous about Bruno. He's 29, wants a pay rise to 300k when they're quitting other wages. I like him a lot. Worried though. Yeah, you got big decisions all around. Big decisions all around. And we'll have to see how it plays out, won't we? Dean B says, Seedorf was on another planet, another player that gets overlooked by fans of today. Yeah, I fucking love. But even like the sort of harder, more stoic, more straight kind of basic feels like a disservice to him because he wasn't basic, was he? He was world-class basics. But that version of Seedorf I loved, let alone the one that was absolutely balling out when he first got to Madrid. Unbelievable. When he was very, very young. Unbelievable player. But yeah, big fan of that. I like it. And he's spookily close to him, isn't he? Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. But cheers, as always, for you guys for tuning in. If you want to get your hands on a green and gold, just Google Stretford Paddock fan ownership and then become a member. And then you can get a pre-order in on that shirt before we lock it up for tomorrow. Otherwise, you're going to be like all the fucking people that still email me, are you selling the green and gold shirt again? No, it's done. So if you want one of those ones, I'll see you in the membership. If you don't want one of those ones, all right, carry on with your fucking day. See you in a bit. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on